this is unheard of. People are waiting for Ron. I see it in your comments every single video. They're waiting for $14 silver, $17 silver. Folks, we get that low, you're not going to be paying 14. You're going to be paying probably more than you're paying now.
Is now the time for you to be buying silver? And how much silver should you be buying? Is the market handing us a golden opportunity to buy silver? We're going to discuss this with expert coin shop Chris, but also we're going to talk about some startling, horrifying, omniscient numbers from the U.S. debt clock that will also have a big impact on the precious metal prices as we move through the rest of 2024. Coin Shop Chris, welcome to Ron's Basement.
How you doing, Ron? I hope everybody out there in the Ron's Basement world is doing all right. I like to take a moment to say like, share, and subscribe this. And share this with 2 other people, please. We need to get some more viewers. And
That's
by
right.
the way, Ron, I'm no expert.
Yeah, you are an expert in my book, and on top of that, we want to say thank you to the viewer who's joining us today, Chris. It's you and I, right? We're the 2 most important people in our worlds, but there's someone who's joining us, a basement dweller who's interested in silver and gold, and that's what we're going to deliver for them. Yes, you today, Chris. Is now the time to be buying silver?
I think it's anything. I've said this before, Ron. Anything under $50 an ounce, I would be buying it.
So was that a yes?
Absolutely, yeah. At these prices, even raw stuff, graded stuff. I mean, you can get a lot of nice stuff, even graded, under $50 an ounce. Right now, if people are into graded stuff, get out there and get it. Because we know it's just gonna go up. I mean, raw stuff, solvent coins are going what, $25, $26, $27 right now. I mean, this is unheard of. People are waiting for Ron. I see it in your comments every single video. They're waiting for $14 silver, $17 silver. Folks, we get that low, you're not gonna be paying 14. You're gonna be paying probably more than you're paying now. Because everybody's going to run to those golden gates and get their hands on it, thinking they're getting a bargain. Get it now. Don't wait.
Because the market is handing us a golden opportunity to buy silver. Premiums on silver, I won't say they're all-time low, but historically speaking, the premium, the amount you're paying over the spot price to get yourself an ounce of silver, are at historical low levels. They are at extremely low levels when compared to, let's say, 10 months ago, when people were paying $15, $20 premiums just to get an American Silver Eagle. And it feels like now you can get American Silver Eagles for $4 over spot. So the premiums are way down. You can buy premium level sovereign minted silver coins right now for not much more than you pay for just a regular old silver round. Is that what you're seeing, Chris? I mean, you're in the business. What are you seeing? Tell me.
Absolutely, Ron. I mean, they're going for like $275 more than, in just a regular, round bar, just whatever. One of your moderators picked up 10-ounce Canadian bars for $26 and an ounce, Ron, $260.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, I mean, I'm not trying to be a pumper here, but that's cheap. I mean,
we are pumpers. Cheap. We are pumpers. And, I think the person, again, who's joining us right now, our beloved viewer, probably likes to hear about the optimistic viewpoint for silver. What about gold compared to silver? It's taking 90 ounces roughly of silver right now to get 1 ounce of gold, but the reverse of that is true as well. I don't own any physical gold, but if I did, I'd be thinking long and hard about converting a 1 ounce gold coin into 90 American Silver Eagles.
Me right now, Ron, if people have gold, this is what I tell people at the shop, Ron. Don't trade for silver. Buy silver. We don't know where gold's going to be. Right now, I do believe gold is buying opportunity still. But silver has more upside potential than gold right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you really want the silver and don't have the cash, I wouldn't trade in all your gold for silver. If you want to do 1 or 2 ounces, fine, I would say. But if you have gold, I would hang on to what you have and not do any conversion right at this point.
I'm just
That's
saying
just
it's
my
I'm just saying
recommendation.
it's very attractive. I don't think you and I agree on that matter, Chris, but that's okay. But I do think it's very attractive to convert one gold eagle into 90 American silver eagles.
Well, I'm seeing gold might be slipping maybe another $30, $40 before we start taking off. And I think silver's going to be on kind of like a holding pattern here for another
Yeah.
couple weeks. That's just
You
my
and
opinion. I
yeah.
could be dead wrong. I'm always wrong. So, I mean,
No, you're the expert. Now, question for you. How much silver, how much gold should a person acquire? I know we like to say, well, as much as possible. Well, my thoughts on that is only convert money that you think into silver and gold that you believe you could hold that silver and gold forever, that you want to, that it's generational, that you want to protect your wealth and hold on to your wealth. What are your thoughts on that, Coin Shop Chris?
absolutely wrong. I mean, you know, you don't want to be converting them for the cash you don't have. And
Yeah.
have to come up and, you know, I see this almost on a daily basis, Ron. People will come in and just need to sell a couple ounces of silver to get through to the next payday. They're $40, $60, $80 short for whatever reason. Well, I think we know the reason due to inflation, to cost everything, and their paychecks are not keeping up to what they need to get for the household.
Yep. Yep. Thank you, Chris. Next, we're going to talk about the U.S. debt clock and some horrifying numbers and how that could relate to the silver and gold price as we move through the rest of the year. But I wanted to take a second and say thank you to our channel sponsor, Fortuna Silver Mines. They just announced record production numbers for 2023, paid off $40 million in debt. And right now, I believe the stock price presents an outstanding value opportunity. Now, look, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just sharing with you my opinion, and it is a stock that I've owned for many years before they agreed to sponsor Ron's Basement. But if you want to learn more about Fortuna Silver, you can go to fortunasilver.com. CoinShop Chris, when we look at the U.S. debt clock, we're horrified. I think our blood pressure goes up. What are you seeing?
My blood pressure goes to the roof, Ron. I think I might have broken a couple of chairs because I get so damn mad looking at these numbers. That's a joke, by the way. So anybody thinking I'm that violent, no, I'm not. But no, it's horrifying, Ron. You know, let's just start off with this, Ron. Most people know the U.S. debt is $34 trillion and growing. So if we broke that down, and the debt clock does a pretty gosh darn good job of breaking it down. So if you're a U.S. citizen, you would owe, not technically owe this, but they broke it down where it came out to be $101,327 per U.S. citizen. That means you're $2, Ron. That's 11 years old. Has that, technically has that debt. If you broke it down to everybody in the country or people outside living in the U.S. to still consider a U.S. citizen, that is what they owe. You and I are taxpayers, Ron. So we would be paying $264,090, Ron. That's the breakdown. Not saying we owe this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So you're telling me that my share of the United States debt as a taxpayer right now is over $250,000?
That is what I'm telling you. Yes, sir.
So we're
That is what I'm
all
telling you.
we're all walking around with little bubbles above our head, and mine says 264,090 because I don't have any other debt. But even though I think I don't have any debt, really my share of the national debt is that much. And you're telling me that my beautiful twin daughters are indentured as well. They have bubbles above their head that say $101,000, $101,327, and it's probably closer to $101,500 now because these numbers keep going up and up.
Absolutely, Ron. It's and they do a good job of breaking it down. Now, just to confirm to everybody, you don't owe this. That's how they just break it down. I want to clarify that.
You mean we're not going to get a bill in the mail?
No, we're not going to get a bill. We're not going to get a bill in the mail, Ron.
Well,
no.
it gets even worse, right? That's just our share of the national debt. But when you consider credit card debt, the next number you have for us, $1.3 trillion. And if you break that down by U.S. citizen, I hear different numbers, and I guess we could do the math per se. But like the average family in the United States has $10,000 in credit card debt. I mean, it's just crazy. And then you factor in student loan debt, you factor in car debt, you factor in mortgage debt. Most people don't really think about their share of the national debt, but that's real.
You know, in this credit card debt, what is going to happen when, you know, if you or I went out there tomorrow, and when you and I went out to Las Vegas, Ron, and let's say we both had a Discover card, and I'm not picking on just Discover here, you can use any bank you want to, but we both had a $5,000 credit limit, and you and I went to the craps table one night, and we just maxed that out. After it's gone, Ron, we got no more credit left. It's gone.
Right.
People are getting tapped out.
Yeah, well, people don't have, Chris, people don't have that 1.3 trillion overall in aggregate represents the fact that Americans have maxed out their credit cards. Americans also, and this data is not on the U.S. debt clock, but they don't have any savings on average. Americans also, Chris, are tapping into their 401ks just to make ends meet. I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely. What about new car prices? I mean, we know that the prices of everything we need to live in this country on a daily basis are becoming more and more affordable, right?
Well, let's go. This came also off the U.S. debt clock, Ron. Median income in the year 2000. Median income in this country was $31,609. A new car back in 2000, average size new car, 4-door sedan, would roughly cost you $22,088, Ron. A new home or a home, medium-sized home, would cost you $161,413. So let's move it up to today's prices, Ron. Median income today for a year, $39,334. Average size new car today, $49,650. Medium size home, $422,593.
So I want to share with our viewer an observation. Incomes went up by about 30% during that period, the year 2000 till now. But the price of a new car more than doubled, and the price of a home almost tripled. Yes, yeah, nearly tripled. But you've got double car price, triple home price, and but in incomes that only went up by 1/3. No wonder the younger generation is getting frustrated, right? Let's move on to, there's some interesting data about silver and gold on the U.S. debt clock as well. What did you discover there?
Paper silver, Ron. 390.27 contracts to 1 ounce of silver.
Wow.
390. So let's say round it down to 300. So 390 paper contracts to 1 ounce of silver. So keep it in simple terms, Ron. Take $390, $1 bills, and have 1 ounce of silver.
Yeah. Well, what that represents is the number of paper, electronic, COMEX, LBMA, silver ounces that are traded on an annual basis, compared to the amount of silver that is actually mined on an annual basis. So basically what that means is you have almost 400 billion ounces of paper, electronic silver that are traded for each 1 billion of silver that's produced by the mining sector and recycling efforts.
Absolutely, yeah. And we move on to gold, Ron. 118.97 paper contracts to 1 ounce of gold. So let's round that up to 119, Ron, for simple math. 119 paper contracts to 1 ounce of gold. Somebody at the end of the day, Ron, is not going to get their silver, and not going to get the gold. Most of these contracts are on, and the very fine print are paid out in cash.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, we're gonna move.
Unless
Go
you're
ahead.
a big rig, unless you're a big boy or girl that has a lot of contracts, you might get your physical silver and gold. But at the end of the day, most of these contracts are paid out in cash.
Yep, they're settled or sold beforehand.
Yeah.
What about healthcare costs? We've got a couple more crazy data points you want to share with us.
The average healthcare cost, if you are working or if you weren't working, your employer normally picks up most of the healthcare costs if you have health coverage. But between your costs, and your employer's costs, back in 2000, it would have been $5,340 on. Today, that has jumped up to $14,552.
It's almost kept up with the increase in house prices, nearly a triple. What about manufacturing jobs?
They want to talk about jobs, Ron. It's working, right, Ron? Back in 2000,
Chris, be careful what you say, because Joe Biden watches Ron's basement every day just to be in touch with what's going on with the average American. So we talked about we talked about the importance of this viewer, right? Really, they're the most important person here. And by the way, thank you for joining us. And we will ask you one more time, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can come back to the basement, because we know Joe Biden from the White House. He may be in the basement of the White House. He's watching. So we just want to make sure Joe knows that it's working. Go ahead, Chris.
Manufacturing jobs, Ron, back in 2000, we had 274,711 manufacturing jobs. Today, as of 1/18, when I took these numbers, Ron, we had 12,987,321.
Sure it wasn't 22?
No, 12,987,321.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, I know my chicken scratch bad.
And I'm just joking around. I'm sorry. And I apologize to the viewer for joking around about what is actually really a sad state of affairs when we look at these numbers. I mean, manufacturing jobs down by almost a third. What about unemployment? Let's talk about that.
Well, they want to claim now. This is a little bit more difficult to explain, I guess, because the official government unemployment numbers, this is if you're collecting an unemployment check. Currently, 6,395,861 are currently collecting a check from unemployment. The actual number on is 11,152,897. So that means if you are at the end of your unemployment and not collecting it, you don't get counted no more in that official number. If you work for Uber, Grubhub, and you just say, I'm done with this, you were actually making, you don't get unemployment anyways. That's another job loss there. And you're part of the actual number, but you're not collecting. So everything the government wants to tell us on TV, on these Fox News, CNN, C-SPAN, not C-SPAN, but MSNBC, Bloomberg, CNNBC, whatever the heck is out there on, they're lying to us.
Yeah.
The numbers are frauds, and really the U.S. debt clock really does a good job of breaking everything down. It's free to go there. You can go there anytime you guys want. I would check it out.
Yep. So if you're feeling a little crazy, if you're feeling like life has become more difficult for you over the last 10 or 20 years, when we look at these numbers, it explains why. So Chris, if somebody out there wants to protect some of their wealth with silver or gold, and we talked about gold earlier, let's say they're out shopping for quarter-ounce gold eagles, for instance, would you happen to have any data related to the pricing that you're seeing? Let's do a little comparison shopping. What do you say, Chris?
I do. These are for most of these I'm going to be talking about is for 2024 1/4 ounce gold Eagles, Ron. APMEX had them for $679.23. JM Bolin had them for $679.55. BGASC had them for $674.35. Muddy Metals was their pick. That means you might not get a 2024, but they had them for $637.64. Silver, Gold, and Bull, a little bit cheaper, had them for $595.49. Hero Bolin had them for $579.67, but Pimbex just beat them out at $578.58.
You mean Pimbex, our channel sponsor?
Beat them out just by a little less than $1. It looks like a little bit more than $1 at Hero Bolin.
Okay, so these were 1/4 ounce gold Eagles. You took prices from a number of available online bullion dealers. You did this all at the same time, and these are all for cash or ACH type transactions. So you're comparing apples to apples here amongst all these dealers, correct?
Absolutely.
And so you found that Pimbex, when you compare it to, I think it was APMEX was the highest, was almost $100 less for this 1/4 ounce gold eagle.
$100.97, Ron. Almost $111 cheaper than APMEX.
So let me get this straight, Coin Shop Chris. Does that mean that if I'm out shopping for a 1/4 ounce 2024 gold eagle, and I try to decide between APMEX or Pimbex, right? They both end in X, but Pimbex, Pimbex. And if I buy it from Pimbex, I'm going to get the exact same 1/4 ounce gold eagle, but I'm going to save $111. So I could buy the 1/4 ounce gold eagle and maybe get myself another 3, maybe almost even 4 ounces of silver on top of that.
Absolutely, Ron. Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you want to pay more? I mean, this is my slogan. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to pay less, then that's Ron's basement's business. And
if you want to pay more, head for the door. We think Pimbex is best. That's why I love having Pimbex as a sponsor. I feel good about them. I have for the last 6 months. I feel good when I get emails from our fellow basement dwellers that are joining us right now saying how happy they are with Pimbex. So thank you, Pimbex, for sponsoring Ron's Basement. And thank you, Coin Shop Chris, for your weekly shopping update. I just want to show people how you can get the same thing, and then you get a couple or 3 or 4 bonus ounces of silver as well.
Absolutely. And let's get right to the 30-day numbers, Ron. And we will cut off here. All right.
Hold on, let me introduce this. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Every week, Coin Shop Chris digs through the numbers to give you a 30-day update on the commodities, on the markets that you care about most. Coin Shop Chris, what did you see when you looked at the 30-day numbers? Hello?
Hello.
Oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, we're having some technical difficulties. Do you want to do the 30-day numbers?
Absolutely. Silver was down $1.57 or down 6.46%. Gold was down $20.30 or down 0.99%. Platinum took a big hit, $56.90 or down 5.40%. Bitcoin, finally, we're down $721.06 or down 1.7%. Oil was just down a hair on penny a barrel or down 0.01%. Silver to gold ratio, 89.31.
Wow. So that means, I just want to reiterate that to our viewer, and even those of you that know it, but I think it's worth thinking about, that if you want to trade, let's say, American Silver Eagles for an ounce of gold, that you would have to take 4 tubes that each have 20 1 ounce Eagles each, 4 tubes of 20, plus an additional 10 Eagles So you'd have 4 tubes and 10 eagles to trade silver eagles to get 1 gold ounce, correct?
Absolutely.
Wow, crazy.
You know,
Chris, thank you as always. Look, we've had you provided some incredible information today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to mention to our viewer that if you want to help support Coin Shop Chris, there's a link to his PayPal in the description of this video. We'll also have a pinned comment where if you want to do something nice today and want to donate a little money to Coin Shop Chris, that opportunity is available for you. Never expected, always appreciated. And don't forget, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We are having a big giveaway on Valentine's Day, 23 ounces of silver. If you want to know how to enter the giveaway, there's a link to that in the description of this video. It's real simple. And Chris, what did I forget to say?
Thank you for watching Ron's Basement, and we'll see you all next week. And I appreciate everybody's support, and we'll see what happens next week.
Thanks, Chris. We'll see you next week.
Ron. See you next week.